But Manu, you've actually got another national team player close to where you live, who's also played in Serie A and has also attracted quite a lot of attention in the market value forums.
Yeah, he has Christian Pulisic, U.S. men's national team winger. I mean, such a big summer coming up for him, right? You mentioned the World Cup. The United States are one of the 3 host nations of the tournament. He remains their biggest star. It's not even arguably. That's just how it is. It's factually accurate. But he arrived at AC Milan in 2023. From Chelsea, right? At the lowest point of his market value, 25 million euros, the lowest point of his market value since 2017, right? So the tail end of his Chelsea career really kind of petered out. His market value continued to drop, and then he joined AC Milan, and he found a lot of his ability to be dynamic and direct and attacking and fun to watch. A lot of that was regained, and his market value started to rebound, right? All the way up to 60 million euros in 2025, in October 2025. And that was the high point, right? And at that point, he was actually the most valuable player, not just most valuable U.S. men's national team player, but the most valuable player in CONCACAF period, or like exceeding Alphonso Davies, who very much for the longest time was the benchmark in the region. But it's kind of the problem with Pulisic for a very long time has always been injuries. Whether it was at Dortmund, whether it was at Chelsea. He's never had the ability to stay fit for really long stretches. At Milan, he seemed to have overcome that until he didn't, right? And this has been a really big issue this year. It's 28 games now, 8 goals, 3 assists. The numbers are dropping. And when you look at the comments, at the market value forums where people are saying it should be going down even further to 43.5 million. He's at 50 million euros right now. Bon F89 says, apart from a couple months, it's been a dreadful season. Value on decline at almost 28 euros, currently valued between 40 and 45 million. So then user Inge Comveron says he's still productive despite having injuries, and his market value should be higher. But that doesn't seem to be the consensus in the forum. I do think the funny thing is with Pulisic has always been that fitness issue, right? He's such a direct player. He's very much reliant on being dynamic, and when one or two of those things are not working out for him, he just doesn't have the ability to be productive. And I also do think that his directness is something that works really well for him, but is also it can be very much a thing that can be calculated by opponents, right? They know the way he plays. So, obviously he's still a top star. He's one of AC Milan's most important players when he's fit. But I do also wonder what's going to be next for his career, right? There has been rumors about him going back to England, but there's also been rumors, Stefan, about whether MLS should be dishing out all the money in the world to bring him home, right? There's always been that movement of having the biggest US stars playing in MLS, which makes sense. You want the biggest stars of your country to play in your own country, but I don't know if that really makes sense for him. So he's, I think, very much at a crossroads. He has to play a good World Cup, and then has to figure out whether staying at Milan and remaining fit and playing in Serie A is the right thing for him. I am a little bit doubtful on whether a more physical league like Premier League or even Bundesliga, considering his problems of injury, would be a good move for him.